It's not like UNC, where we know they bought it more than 15 years ago.
Is that right?
Put a couple of $1 million in, and, you know, they've got 30% returns this year. They also sold some before the IPO. They got their risk off the table. So that's an example of...
Wow.
Yeah,
What's Harvard going to do with a $2.2 billion windfall? Support the English faculty?
Well, they've been cutting jobs in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, so maybe not. But yeah, I mean, remember, this is what the 13F shows on June 30th, a $2.2 billion stake, direct holding. And University of California, as I pointed out, also has a $1 billion stake. But the size of what University of California has AUM is $200 billion. It's the endowment, it's the pension funds, it's working capital, it's, you know, whole big pile of money. And Harvard's is less. The most recent value we know from last year was $57 billion. It's likely more. So it's a more concentrated.
Do we know how these educational institutions, these endowments, how do they get access to these deals? Are they...
Good question.
Yeah, do we know anything?
Well, we know about, you know, UNC, Duke, they were early investors. Something tells me it was something called Founders Fund. Maybe you've heard of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of these early stakes, it's not just one investment, it's multiple managers, multiple vintages, and, you know, the positions have grown.
So, and kind of a related question, higher education's been under pressure from this administration. Frozen funding, withdrawn funding, threatens to withdraw funding. Is that, in fact, occurred? Is that occurring now? Is that taking place? Are these universities seeing money either not come in from the government or go away?
Well, here is the big question is, yes, there are still some disputes over past funding. What is going to happen in the future? Is Harvard going to get the same kind of, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars that it's used to? Or is the government going to say, look, we don't need to give, you know, all this money to Harvard? You know, MIT was the king of Department of Defense funding. They are not, they are very concerned about that.
Janet Lorin was decades of coverage of higher education. Let me go through the beauty list. Anna Maria College, Hampshire College, La Brea College of Healthcare, Lourdes University, Providence Christian College, and more and more and more. All these colleges are going out of business. Does this trend continue?
Well, can you operate a business for 500 students?
I'm asking. I mean, there's fewer kids, right, going to college?
And that's because of demographic shifts. You know,
Okay, so do you predict that we're going to see more colleges go under?
Schools cannot afford to run businesses for a couple of hundred students. So yes.
It's just unit count.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the demographics. I mean, there are fewer kids of college age, and then those that are of college age, fewer of them are enrolling in college. The risk reward, a lot of folks are saying it's just not there.
Right.
So Harvard's cutting jobs, you know, in 14 other schools. I don't mean to pick on Harvard, but like arts and science faculty still.
Not faculty, staff jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of schools because, again, they just don't know the federal funding for their research.
Or how many kids want to take Latin?
It's a good point. Latin, I think, is always going to have a market. You know, you want to go to medical school, maybe you want to know Latin. But yeah, I mean, you have to have a realistic picture of who is taking your classes, where is the demand. Do you remember the story we talked about last week on grade inflation and the gems?
Right.
If you remember that fun little fact, you know, non-tenured professors would advertise easy courses so students would pack them in and they get great reviews.
We don't care. 11 games out, wild card. Can the Mets do it?
I just got an email. Do I want to up for any kind of package for next year? I don't know. Ask Marty Schenker what he thinks too.
well, yeah, but you know, I mean, this is exciting. After the trade deadline, the Mets are just killing it.
Yeah.
Not last night.
Well, not last night.
I hate the Padres. Do you want to know my San Diego Padres story?
Sure.
Please.
1984, the Cubs. Do you remember they were in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You could write away for World Series tickets. I won the lottery. I had World Series tickets. Do you remember what happened in that series?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Garvey killed it for me. I could still see in my
scarred.
mind.
I mean,
She is scarred.
We had to return the tickets.
Oh man, as
My
a little
grandfather
kid.
said, "Nope, we paid for them. We got to get our money back."
what is this?